What is up, Ravens flock? Huge shout out for your support for the 410 Sports Talk. James and Glenn are the best in the business. They're killing it right now. They love talking Raven talk. Make sure you go subscribe to their channel. Let's go Ravens. Big trust.
Hey guys, welcome into another episode of 410 Sports Talk. I'm James Haskell, along with my co-host Glenn Martin, and we are here watching the draft live. The Ravens are prepping for the 104th pick. We just finished up 94. Got Big Ben Cleveland coming to Baltimore. Funny last name. He's going to have Cleveland on the back of the jersey while he's playing for Baltimore.
Interesting. I didn't think about that.
Pretty cool. But we picked up a guard. In our valuation, it might be different than Mel's. The needs that we have left would be what, Glenn? Tackle is probably the most pressing at this point, but secondary to that would maybe be safety and then corner.
Yeah, looking for a true nickel, I think would be nice. And then also, I wouldn't be surprised if they could go out and find an athletic tight end to add to the group as well. Yeah,
there you go. And obviously, we still have we'll have 4 picks tomorrow.
Yep.
So we still have four tomorrow, but certainly, yeah, if they find a tight end that they think is worth it here, still in the 3rd round, guys. And I know it was tough watching a lot of guys go. It's tough for me. Quinn Miners just left. I really like Ben. I feel really good about him. I mean, he's an absolute mammoth. So I'm excited about that. But where do you think we go here, man? What's your gut telling you? I think I know where you're going, but I'd be interested to see you say it out loud.
Well, I mean, Jamar Johnson from Indiana, the safety, the coverage skills that he can bring to this team, I think is missing. I love his versatility. I love the fact that he can, he can play that center fielder that you're looking for. I mean, I don't think we have that. And, he tracks the ball really well. Has good ball skills. So I really like him. I'm surprised he's still here, but it's funny. He was there later in the rounds in every mock, and I don't really understand why, but it's showing true again here. So I'm not really sure. Also, Shaun Wade, I think he's an interesting possibility that they might be looking at, the cornerback out of Ohio State.
According to ESPN, the best remaining offensive tackle would be James Hudson out of Cincinnati.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, and then the guy that I like, Stone Forsyth, is I think you mentioned this. He's what, 13th?
Yeah,
as far as the remaining, which is crazy because he's got to be at least the tallest. He's 6'8", 6'9", 300 and some odd pounds. So he's got the size. But what other overall guys are you? Sorry, I guess you were answering your question. I totally cut you off there. But so where you think they're going? I know you're mentioning a couple of guys, Jamar Johnson. What else you thinking?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't go edge here. I see Chris Rumpf out of Duke is still out there.
Yep.
Depending on the Justin Houston thing, because they may have some sort of agreement already established, but
right.
And obviously him coming in would make the need a little bit less. But as it stands right now, they still have a need at the outside linebacker position because I like the potential and the athleticism I see out of Owe, but. And I love him as a downs 1 and 2 player already. He's fantastic in the run game. Still has to develop some more of that pass rush instead of just relying on his athleticism to get home. So I think that you still have to look at the outside linebacker position. Baron Browning out of Ohio State still out there. He's a little undersized for the typical outside linebacker in Baltimore, but it's going to be interesting. I know you brought up is Roche still out there?
He is. No.
Is he not?
Quincy, right? Yeah, Quincy is out there. Yep,
he's still out there.
Yeah, he is.
So I know there's still some guys out there. Patrick Johnson out of Tulane is another guy that was brought to my attention through another one of our fans and commenters, and he's another guy who's undersized, but maybe the fastest get off I've seen. And man, he brings the wood when he gets there. He can really hit you. So while undersized, I think he definitely has a role if the Ravens end up taking him.
Now, I want to look up one guy really quick because you touched on tight end just as a potential wild card, but Brevin Jordan right now, according to ESPN, is the highest ranked remaining tight end. And according to ESPN, it looks like a great seam route runner, but he's a weak blocker, athletic. He's got good hands. So maybe not ideal, but I want to get PFF's opinion on him. It looks like every year he got better as far as his overall grade. Unfortunately, PFF is not loading his draft details for me.
Yeah, that'll happen sometimes. But also right behind him is a guy you mentioned a long
Yeah.
time ago, Noah Gray, who's similar in that, where he's not going to go out there and lay the wood, but real savvy route runner, likes he can sit in those zone coverages. He's got some deception in his route running that can confuse defenders. So yeah, I mean, that's a guy I think if they want to add some athleticism to the room, I think they're fine, at 1 and 2 with Mark Andrews and Nick Boyle. But as we saw last year when Nick Boyle went down, that room got a lot thinner, and they had to start, pulling off the cheap racks there and bringing in guys on the cheap. But not to say they still couldn't address the tight end position after the draft, because I still think there's some cuts and stuff to be made league-wide.
Or even later in the draft. We still have Bushman out of BYU, of course, who I think could be a good pick. And, in the 6th, 7th round. And then I think Noah ends up getting there. But, man, it's going to be interesting. The Rams pick is in, so we got one more pick to go. You gonna put a name down on the card, Glenn?
I think if I had to put a name down, it would. Man, I've been so wrong with them that I'm just gonna be wrong again. But if I was turning the card, it'd be hard to pass up on Jamar Johnson and the center fielder that he is, because I just don't know if we have that guy right now. But yeah, so that's who I would say. I'd say Jamar Johnson. You got a name in mind?
Yeah, I'm really struggling right now because while James Hudson is the best remaining tackle according to ESPN, he's still, he's a converted defensive lineman, so he's still working on a lot of his technique and things like that. So he doesn't seem to me like a day one, plug and play like a Tevin Jenkins would have been or something like that. I realize we're later in the draft, and that's part of the reason why he's later in the draft. For some reason, I feel like we're not going safety. I'm trying to go against my instincts, because I've been wrong, but the pick is in. I'm gonna go with the tight end, Brevin Jordan. Yep.
All right, let's see.
I'm gonna be completely wrong.
Oh, I like somebody's up there doing the squirrel right now. We got a fan up there doing the squirrel in his Ravens pajamas,
and someone telling him to sit back down on the chair. Calm down, buddy.
All right, here it is.
Baltimore Ravens select Brandon Stevens, defensive back.
Brandon Stevens, a corner. So let's look up what Brandon Stevens brings.
Man, we've been terribly wrong.
Yeah, but you know what? We might not be wrong as far as positional.
That's true.
Because we did mention that corner is a spot. If you're telling me he's a true slot corner, then I'm going to be pretty excited, because the Tavon Young injury is going to happen.
Yep.
It's only a matter of when, not if, it's when.
All right, Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon Stevens. I'm trying to find him on ESPN's.
And I am not.
I don't see Brandon Stevens. Let's say he's a captain of the team out of SMU. So I like hearing that, because, they like the character guys. I don't even see him listed. Now, that's a little concerning. Let's see. Brandon. Mel likes him, but Mel has a certain affinity for the Ravens, obviously, from being right up the street, and I think that helps him, be a little lighter on the Ravens as far as criticizing. But man, I'm just trying to find something on the guy other than.
So I can give you some stuff. He's 6 foot, 213 pounds. His prospect grade, according to NFL.com, is a 5.83. Not great. It says he was a 4-star running back recruit from Texas when he signed with UCLA before the 2016 season. Did he transfer? It looks like yes. Okay. So he was a graduate transfer to SMU, played at UCLA as a running back, as a reserve 3 years. He played 21 games as a reserve over 3 years for the Bruins, rushed 65 rushes, 1 touchdown, 12 receptions, but redshirted in order to find new opportunity elsewhere. So then he went to SMU, and then they moved him to corner. So he's only played 13 games at corner in college.
Wow.
So he's got to be an athlete to be able to just flip like that.
This is a real puzzler. I'm trying to understand what the
so it
thought
says
process
here that
is.
he led the squad with 10 pass breakups as a senior. intercepting his first collegiate pass and stopping 43 ball carriers in 10 starts.
Well, I mean, I like hearing that, but he was at SMU, so it's not like he was, I'm sure not playing against the toughest of competition.
Right.
But man, you said he was 6 foot.
6 foot, 193 pounds.
So he's not necessarily an imposing. Here we go. I finally was able to find him. So did you say he started his career at UCLA?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I have the correct guy. Yeah, I see. Man, this is an interesting pick. I'm not really sure, what to think about this right now because they're listing him as a developmental guy and a special teamer, and they took him in the 3rd round. So,
I'm getting.
Now, here I like hearing this. There aren't any roles on the field that he isn't physically capable of filling in terms of coverage techniques and alignments. The key for him is just gaining more time at cornerback on the field and just kind of, working on his craft.
Well, maybe he learns from Tavon and he's got enough time before Tavon goes down.
I hope so, but I think what they love is that he's apparently extremely. He shows a lot of competitive toughness. He's very aggressive as a tackler, but he's a developmental guy. So it's a little puzzling that they took him.
It's interesting because we took Tyree last year in the 3rd as well, right? More of a developmental guy.
Yeah.
And
he ended up playing, a lot of snaps for them.
But you know what? Like you were saying, though, this is interesting because did we need to take him in the 3rd? That's the question that we'll never really know. Who else, was going to take him? Why couldn't we take him in the 6th, the 7th? Why do we have to take him in the 3rd?
This is definitely one of those out of left field picks for us. I mean, this isn't somebody who we even was even on our radar. He's literally
not in PFF.
Yeah, he's not in PFF, and I didn't see him on ESPN when I tried to search the best remaining corners. So this is definitely a thing where it had to have been a scout who was beating his hands on the table and ready to just, lay his job on the line. All right, so I'm in DraftPlex now. Let's see if we got anything for this young man from DraftPlex. I don't even see him as a player that he looked at.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I'm starting to hyperventilate. I need a bag.
Oh no, he does. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I overlooked him.
Bring me back to life, Glenn.
So he had him as a corner that should go from rounds 4 to 6. We got him at the very tail end of the 3rd round. So maybe a little bit of a, according to DraftPlex, a little bit of a reach. But he does have him on there. So that was at least encouraging. And he has him ahead of the guy I really like, Trey Brown out of Oklahoma.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's got him right. So
is it in DraftPlex we trust?
I mean, at this point, I don't know where else to turn. There's not many guys that even have him listed, but it is interesting. He had him as the 22nd best cornerback in the draft. My guy, Trey Brown, 28th. So he has him 6 spots higher. And 1 spot behind Sean Wade, the corner out of Ohio State that I mentioned earlier in this. So, all right. So we're going to have to do some studying, Jimbo. We're going to have to find out everything there is to know about Mr. Brandon Stephens and you guys as well. I mean, he's the newest Raven. So if you're a Ravens fan, I encourage you to do the same we're going to do. But if you don't have time, if you don't have the desire, just keep looking around for our video because we're going to make sure we break down everybody in this draft class.
Right. These are our instant reactions. And then we're gonna go back, like Glenn said, look at the tape and give you some further in-depth analysis on these guys. So yeah, I think that's a great point, Glenn. Yeah. The other thing too is we're going to be bringing in some media guys to these local schools, that cover these guys in college to get some additional insight. So that'll be awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about that because we're definitely going to be needing some help with Mr. Brandon Stephens. But hopefully he's that diamond in the rough. There's been, the Ravens have found plenty of those guys in the past. But man, is this the most puzzling pick so far for you?
Well, 2 now, to be honest with you. I mean, Owe I'm still a little puzzled by it. With the talent that was still on the board. Let's
be honest, there was a lot of people mocking him too.
To the first,
it's not as surprising.
And a lot of people had him in the 1st in general, whether it's to us or someone else. So there's that point. But yeah, so I guess this one does trump that one, but it's a close second.
Yeah, this one's interesting, especially when we're so deep at that position anyway. It
I
makes you
know.
wonder, who's going to be left on the outside looking in. I mean, there's those corners in that room got to be looking a little nervous.
Well, Jimmy for sure is signing 1-year deals for the rest of his career.
Well, yeah, but Jimmy, I don't think has any worry about making the roster. I'm worried. I'm thinking Anthony Averett.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Iman
Right.
Marshall.
Yeah, because this kid's a 3rd-round pick. He ain't going. I mean,
He ain't cutting them this year, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I think Anthony Averett did enough to make himself a roster spot. But Biggie Marshall, I think he could be on his way out.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know what you guys think. Were you as shocked as we are?
Yeah.
If you do know more about him, please share the wealth of information. Let us know what you think, and be on the lookout because we'll be talking soon.